Test, test, test. All right. We should be good. Oop. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Okay. That dang one fly. How we doing? We're live. Pre-game show, kind of. Yeah, no, it's a pre-game show. It's a normal pre-game show. We're just doing it during the 1 o'clock games. I timed this horribly, by the way. I thought, like, hey, I'm going to time this, so we're going to go live at halftime of the 1 o'clock games. We'll be done, like, halfway through the third quarter. The third quarter is already starting for all of these games, basically. Some of them are, like, halfway through the third quarter, so this is bad timing. This is bad timing, but it's all right. We're here. We're going to talk about the game that matters. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about the game that matters. Smith got pulled the first half. So he got a sack I saw right before half. He was in on a sack right before halftime. We're going to talk about it. He was in on a sack right before halftime. And if he's pulled for the second half, that's what I'm saying. You know, I'm not even going to lie to you. Count Dooku, how you doing, man? I'm watching this game, and I'm sitting there like, they need to take our guy out of the game. They gotta take him out of the game. I don't know why he's in the game right now. You know what I mean? That's our guy. I'm like, hey, don't get hurt. That's what I'm thinking every time I'm watching him out there. But we do got some clips. I don't know if he got pulled or not. I saw him playing first half, but maybe he's not playing the second half. I don't know. But I do got some clips, so we're going to watch him a little bit, as well as another player that I heard for the first time today connected to the Lions. Don't know if there's anything behind it, but hey, man, what is it, Tuesday? Wednesday. I think it's Tuesday. I think Tuesday, the trade, is it Tuesday, chat? Let me know. Is it Tuesday, Wednesday? It might be Wednesday. I mean, it might be Wednesday. All right, one day this next week, the trade deadline's going down, so we got to stay on that. We're actually going to be, here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm hoping, chat. We're about to get into this. Kind of hoping the trade goes down before the trade deadline show. But if it doesn't, if there's no trade and it's 1 o'clock on trade deadline day, because I think it's the trade deadline day, 1 o'clock to 3:30, I'm going to be live on trade deadline day with Bleacher Report. We're doing a trade deadline special, man. It's Tuesday? All right, so Tuesday, 1 to 3:30, we're doing a trade deadline special over there. We did it last year. It was massive. And here's the reason y'all should tune in. All right, I'm going to give you the reason. Outside of just watching us go live, it's going to be me, it's going to be Botch, it's going to be Richie from Jets Media, it's going to be TD Fins Talk. Outside of just watching us live, reacting to if anything goes down. Last year, Donovan Peoples-Jones moved. But also, we're going to have an NFL insider on with us, chat. An NFL insider. What? Yeah, he's going to be hopping in and out from my understanding. He's going to be giving us news, rumors. He's going to be on top of it. What are y'all talking about? Wait, did it already go down? Hold up. Y'all making me act crazy. I've been a little shaky today because of this ghost stuff. So I need to calm down. But if something goes down, we might have a problem. We won't have a problem, but I'm going to be pretty fired up. Also, Chad, he added me. He's like, yo, any trade, not trade, in and out, that kind of thing. I don't know. The NFL Insider's Phantom. It may be Phantom. There's a chance. No, it's Palmer. You guys know who that is? Palmer? I think he's from NFL Network. It's not Joshua Palmer. See, now that's stuck in my head. We're like, hey, it's not Josh Palmer. Don't call him that. Jonathan Palmer? Jarvis? No, hold up. It's something Palmer. We're going to figure it out, though. Anyways, I got some clips. Smith walking out of the facility. All right, y'all making stuff up. Jesse Palmer, is that right? Maybe it's Jesse Palmer. I think that does sound right. Jesse Palmer. Okay, but we do got clips. And we're also going to do kind of our normal pregame stuff. The main thing is players to watch. We're going to do that. Buffalo just took the lead. I see you, Buffalo. I was a little bit worried on the 4th and goal because, they didn't have Amari Cooper. I thought that was going to be a problem. And then when they didn't have him, I was like, oh, this might be a problem. Breaking. Lions are expected to trade for Zarius Smith either tonight or tomorrow, per Mark Florio. Hold up. That looks so legit. Well, this is perfect, then. I'm glad I grabbed some clips. We're about to get hyped together. Y'all ready for this? The main thing I also want to talk about, because I think it's going to go down too. The main thing I also want to talk about is if this does go down and we do add Za'Darius, could this other guy also be traded to the Lions? I don't think it's likely, but could it happen? And the reason I bring that up is because we've seen a team like Kansas City make a couple of moves. Like, could we see 2 moves go down for the Lions? Is that on the table? Can we talk about the weather? So, my understanding, light to moderate rain throughout the entirety of the game. That's already started. That's my understanding. I'm not in Green Bay, but that's what I've heard. And it's about 50 degrees weather-wise. They also put the statistics of golf indoor versus outdoor. It's our first outdoor game this season. So we'll have to see how we respond to that. Hopefully we run the ball well. I actually think we can run the ball pretty well against the team. It's been a fantastic defense. They got a lot of good pieces. I actually think we can run the ball pretty well against these guys. We'll see how that plays out. I think we can. If the Raiders lose today, does Crosby move? I don't think Crosby gets moved it also feels like they've done too much, maybe like protecting, like we're not moving the guy. But they've seemed pretty darn set on like we're not moving him. We can lose every single game. That guy's going nowhere. It feels like the Raiders' ownership. It's you know how the Giants thing went down. He's like, hey, don't trade away Saquon, and then they did it, or they let him go. They didn't trade it, but they let him go. It's kind of like the Raiders' ownership. Like, dude, we're not moving him. All right, that's our guy. He's the guy that sells tickets. He gets jersey sales. We're not moving Max Crosby. It doesn't matter what you offer us. That's kind of what it feels like. Like they're kind of a disaster right now. I did take the Raiders to win today. That touchdown before half did not help me out. But also, I'm watching this Browns game. Like, yo, Browns, can you start losing? Like, and they are. It'd be great to see the Browns lose today, to be honest. That being said, though, I saw my man put this in here earlier. I didn't want to miss it. Yo, Dion, it's been a long time. We used to play Warzone together. Good times. I haven't made video game videos in a minute, but I'll say this. I just got my PS5. King hit me up on the weekend. He was like, yo, get Black Ops 6. I guess it's cross-platform, so if y'all got Black Ops 6, let me know. I bought it that night when he's like, yo, get it. People want to play with you. So I bought it. I downloaded it. I'm on it. I'm trash, but I got the game. So I plan on bringing stuff like that back, even if it's not a video and we're just playing, with people that watch me and y'all just want to hop on, like, game. I'm down with that. I think we'll do some gaming with King 2 on Black Ops 6. So let me know. Let me know. All right. Now, if y'all find an actual Mike Florio tweet or any kind of tweet that says like something's going down, please send it to me on X or tell me where to go because I'll throw it on the screen. But here's what I saw, and we'll start with the trade buzz first because that's all the buzz right now. So last night we were at Cedar Point, and alerts were going crazy yesterday. All day long, alerts were going crazy about trade buzz. I showed my dad my phone. And the entire, like, you know how you swipe down, it shows all your notifications? The entire notification screen was just different teams and trade rumors, guys connected to this guy connected to that guy. And Adam Schefter, I think this was the one at night, but he posted this. The Lions continuing... Oh, sorry, I can't read. Let me restart. The Lions continue making calls about pass rushers and have spoken to the Browns about former Pro Bowl defensive end Zadarius Smith, who already has played in the NFC North for both the Packers and Vikings, according to sources. So that was Adam Schefter, but he just said pass rushers, so that could leave it open. This morning, I think it was ESPN, they talked about the Lions making a move, and they had thrown the name out there that I hadn't heard us really talk about yet, which was Calais Campbell. So we're going to watch a little Calais Campbell today, just a very little bit. I got some clips. Calais Campbell's still a good player. And I know there's the Lions like Calais Campbell. I think if you got a guy like Calais, you'd have to... I don't know that you'd have to, but I'd like to see them make a second move. Like, I don't think you just want to add Calais. If you add Calais, say the Dolphins lose today, which is very possible, it's on the table, they start selling off guys, and we can get him for a very much a steal. He's 38 years old on the last year of his contract. If that was the case, I think you make that move and you make a corresponding move. You make two moves because he doesn't exactly fill... I mean, he gives you pass rush, but he gives you a little bit more versatility than your typical edge rusher. So I think if you did that, it'd be on the table to make two moves, and that's what we'll talk about a little bit today. Do you think we should re-sign Levi? At this point, I don't think we've seen enough to give him like a significant contract. However, depending on how this season goes along, I'm not opposed to it. I don't think it's enough right now to be like give him a significant deal, and I think there'd be a team out there willing to give him multiple years. This is the first year he's really healthy. I think he's been good this season. I think last week he showed up for us against the Titans. This is a game you'll see to my players to watch. Levi is on that list. We are completely depleted at defensive end for this game, and Levi is like one of those starters that are actually available. We'll call him a starter. He's going to be big. Depending on it, like if he gives Zach Tom and Rasheed Walker some problems today, which I think is very much so on the table because, hey, look at their offensive tackles. They struggled a little bit today and they struggle against power. He gives those guys problems. That helps him a lot. I think this is the kind of like, this could be a swing game. It's a good question. I think this could be a big swing game for him getting an extension after this season, depending on how he performs in a game like this where we really need him to shine. Because I thought he did good last week. He wasn't incredible, but he had a couple of flash plays. I noted him like 2 or 3 times. This is a big swing game for him with opportunity to cook. Do you like our matchups against Packers interior offensive line? Absolutely. It's my favorite matchup, Ed. I don't know if you saw the preview video. We dropped it on Saturday. It is my favorite matchup, O-line, D-line. Again, I think Rasheed struggled a little bit this year. Jordan Morgan is probably playing at left guard. It sounds like because their center Myers is going to be out. So it sounds like Morgan's going to kick at left guard. Elton Jenkins is going to go to center. And at right guard, they're going to roll with Sean Ryan. And that's usually a rotation with Morgan or Sean Ryan, but because it sounds like they're not going to have their center, they're going to have to go full-time there with Jordan Morgan, and that's a little bit, he struggled a little bit this year. He's the top pick for the Packers out of Arizona. We talked about him pre-draft process as a tackle. They're using him at guard. So I think just inexperience against experience between Aleem and DJ Reader. Hey, earn your money today. right? Earn your money today, because we know that offensively running the football, they want to go wide. They want to get sideline to sideline. So they're going to take you out of the game, I'm sure, a little bit. But in terms of pass rush, earn your money. Run defense, I'm sure they're going to want to try to take you out of the game. They're going to want to try to get sideline to sideline. They're going to want to go at our defensive end position group that's completely depleted. So you have to dominate when they run towards the interior. Of course, Josh Jacobs, they're going to try to lean on that. I actually saw an article before I went live here, and it was like the 3 reasons the Packers will beat the Lions. And I was hoping for some heat. I was like, if this is heat, we can even react to this. Really wasn't that much heat. I'm going to be honest. No hate to the article. Just wasn't enough heat, for me. The first point, it was just names. The first reason was Josh Jacobs. And I was like, okay, all right. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to give you that. The second one with Jaden Reed, I can buy that one a little bit more. Plays out of the slot. Amik Robertson, actually, if you guys didn't know, he's giving up a 100-1 pass rating when in coverage in the slot this season. So I can buy into that one a little bit more. The Josh Jacobs one, I was like, that one I buy into more. And then the third point, I think, was takeaways, which, again, I think both teams are going to get takeaways today. Hopefully not, but I think so. So, okay, I kind of give you the second one. The third one, the first one, I can't really give you on that one. But Josh Jacobs is a good player, so I guess I get that. I just thought there'd be a little more heat to that. All right, now, before we get into this full-on preview, though, keep throwing questions in. What's up, Dose? What up, man? Dab Daddy, how you doing, man? That would be cool. Hey, I'm down. We're going to make it happen. We're going to do it. Hey, high school football season's over. We're going to make it happen. What current players on our roster would you trade for an edge? Current players? That's a tough one. It'd be tough on defense. I don't know who I'd move off on defense, just because I think depth-wise we kind of need. You know what's funny about that? I saw an article, and it was like every player a team could move off of or should move off. I think it was should, for clickbait reasons. And they put Rakestraw as our player. And I'm like, wait, hold up. They lost me immediately. Now, I was curious because I was like, I don't even know who to list to that point. So I give them credit for being creative. But they put Rakestraw. It's like, okay, that's not going to happen. Maybe, see, you can't really say iffy, because if I'm thinking about guys on the last year of a contract. Derek Barnes is hurt. You can't move off Levi because of where we're at right now. Iffy, I don't want to move off Iffy. I'm not saying we should, but I'm just saying, like, contract-wise, I could see where that could make sense because he's not even starting, and maybe there'd be a team that's like, I'd give you a lot for that guy. But he's hurt right now, so it'd be hard to... Could Broderick Martin be on the table if somebody wanted him after he comes back and he returns healthy? Maybe he'd be a guy that would potentially garner some interest. I don't know how much there'd actually be interest, but maybe. I mean, a team like New England could like a guy like that could play in multiple gaps. They want interior defensive line help. That report, I think, has already went out there. Maybe something like that. How are we feeling? Do you think Brad's done making moves? I don't think so. No, I don't think Brad's done making. I don't think Brad started making moves, unless you're assuming that the Zarius thing's happening. I think the move is still to come. So let's actually do this. I grabbed some clips. I wasn't sure when I trade Hooker. I would not trade in Hooker. He would be off limits for me. You would have to give me so much to make that. He'd be off limits. A second-round pick wouldn't do it. I'm going to be honest, depending on a first-round pick wouldn't do it. He would be off limits for me. And it depends how the team feels about him versus me. I think Hendon Hooker is great. He didn't look great when he stepped in last week, but he just got stepped in there. I wouldn't move Hooker. I think we need that as a backup for Goff. I want a guy that I can trust to put in games. And right now, if Hooker had to step in, I think he could get the job done. I really do. So I wouldn't want to move off for that reason. And secondly, I still think he could potentially be the future. I still think that's on the table. It'd be hard. I think the thing what's going to be difficult about Hooker is when you get towards the end of the deal, how do you bring him back? Where does his interest level go? But we've heard nothing out of the guy. I think he just wants to learn. And I think as a older quarterback coming out, when he did out of Tennessee, there's a value in that. We're seeing these guys with very limited starts struggle. I mean, that's always been the case. Anthony Richardson just got benched. Dude has had 10 starts in the NFL. Like, he's had a lot of starts in his college career. I don't want to move off that guy. And honestly, he solidified the backup position for us. Potentially, he solidified it. And that's been kind of a search for the last few years. So I grabbed some Zadarius Smith clips. Also, shout out to BetUS sponsoring this live stream. YouTube 150. That's the promo code. It's in the description. 150% deposit match on your first deposit. 125% on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000. We'll take a look at BetUS here in a second. We'll get to some of our afternoon picks. We'll also look at some of the live betting too. So I went to the last game that Zadarius Smith played. Let me actually mute the music for a second. It's kind of like driving my ears crazy. I went to the last game Zadarius played, which was, I think it was this last game. This was Baltimore. He's playing right now too, unless he did get benched. I don't know. But he had a sack before half, but this was him against Baltimore. Now, he's working against Rosengarten, so you're talking about a young player, rookie here, mid-round pick. But I didn't go in like looking for the highlights so I could show highlights. I just went to watch, and he absolutely cooked the Ravens in this game. On the season, this is the stats coming into this week for Zadarius. He has 24 pressures now, at a 12.5% pressure rate. So a pass rush attempt turns into pressure for him at 12% of the time. That's nice. It's a little bit higher actually than it's a little bit higher just barely than Kus Campbell. He also has 4 sacks on the season, and we know with his contract situation, he'd be under contract for 2 seasons. He's number 99 here on the edge. He definitely brings a little bit of flexibility to the position, but he's more of your pure defensive end. He's also playing, as we know, that left defensive end spot, which I love it because that's where Hutchinson played for, so it would give us that. You can see here, overset, gets him inside. Za'Darius, man, and the thing that I like about Za'Darius is when I watch him, I feel the same things pop to me over and over. He's very consistent in the ways that he wins, what he's good at. It's very consistent. You can rely on that. Not the most agile piece, right? Not the most shifty player. You watch him in traffic, he looks a little bit heavy-footed, but you see this speed to power. You see the transition here on the right tackle. This is consistent. That knockback is consistent. He's very strong in the upper body as well. You see all these things that he's got good length to his game. I like his pursuit to the quarterback here. He is against the run. This was something that was noticeable early when I had watched him, and then you see it again here, going a week later against Baltimore. Very good timing off the snap. He also carries a lot of juice in his acceleration. That ability to get from 0 to 100 is not bad. It's a plus trait of his game. Like I said, change of direction isn't always the best, but he's got some real juice in his acceleration upfield. Here he is. There's that speed to power again, upper body. Closing the pocket, finding the quarterback. You see how smooth that counter is that he gets to the spin. Here he is again, bottom of your screen, or left of your screen, number 99 here in this stand-up roll. There's the pop in the upper body. There's the close the quarterback. He got good length to close. Here he is on a stunt. I love using him on these crash looks. Loop him inside just like this. Right there between the center. You see him close ground. He's also got some, we'll talk about this a little bit more. He's got a little bit of flexion. I think Calais actually carries a little bit more. But you see that transition down. You see that speed to close ground like he does and then chase him out of the pocket. He's actually had some just pure effort plays this season where he's just chased the quarterback, drew some holding calls, things like that. You see that nice kind of sidestep ability. He's got the nice little swim package to his game. He just strings pass rush moves together really smoothly, and he plays with really good play speed. He has really good play speed. I think that points back to kind of the experience that he has here. He drives downhill. You see the stop. There's the change of direction. Then you see him build his speed back up quickly again on that play to close on Lamar Jackson. Here he is stepping inside. Watch the timing. Look at the juice off the line. He carries good depth. You see the distance that he's covering in his footwork here. There's the crash to open up a stunt. And then again, that transition just to walk guys back. So to me, I've been excited about the idea of Za'Darius Smith for a while. I thought I would just go back and look at his most recent game that he played in just to see what it looked like. And as you can see, man, he's still bringing the juice. So I'm still on board with bringing the guy in. Denver Donkeys are getting cooked. That is unfortunate. What's the score in that game? Baltimore racking up points? Okay. They were hanging with him for a minute. If the Lions hold Jacobs to less than 100, do we win? I would say no. I mean, I think we win regardless. I don't know that Josh Jacobs is the swing for me. I think Josh could go over 100 and we could still win. I think he could go under 100 and we could still lose. I don't know that he's the swing piece for me in this game. I don't know that he's there. Honestly, I think Jaden Reed could have more of an impact on that. Like the Jaden Reed go over 100 receiving yards. That to me could have the bigger swing. I think Josh Jacobs could have a game like that because Josh to me doesn't feel like the biggest big play threat, but he's very consistent. He gets downhill. He's hard to when he gets started, he can turn 5 to 10 pretty easily, but you can also stuff him at the line of scrimmage. I don't know that would be the swing for me in this game. It'd be helpful, though. There's no doubt about it. It'd be helpful because they'll want to do that, and he's been a huge part of their offense, the reason they paid him like they did, but I don't know that he's the swing for me. 31-10 Raven. Okay, yeah, they put up points then. Dang. They put up points. So that's the buzz that we have right now. We'll see if something goes down. I think that it's going to. It's 20-3 right now, by the way. How weary should we be about the rest? They're number one on D. Oh, that's who's reffing our game today? Oh, that's great. No, that's fantastic. I didn't know that. I'm actually a little bit disappointed to hear that now. I guess a lot, to be honest, but I mean, I don't think it'll change the Lions' play style. What did they say earlier this year? Like, they're okay with the flags. They're going to be aggressive. They're going to throw timing. And this is one of the teams that you have to throw timing. Like, you just have to. That's what the Packers are. So, even more so than ever, you have to be aggressive against these guys in man coverage. So, I mean, you're just going to have to eat some flags. It is what it is. You in Lambeau. You already know what time it is. Saying we've locked up Smith. Hey, if I get a report, I'm with it. I haven't seen anything yet, but I do believe it. I mean, I don't want to say that. The buzz continues to grow. And yesterday, on top of hearing the Za'Darius Smith thing from Adam Schefter that the Lions had interest there, there was also a report from The Athletic that came out that said Arizona interested in Azeez Ojulari and Arden Key. and we're hearing like multiple teams are looking for edge rushers, that kind of thing. But I think seeing that report kind of made me believe even more that the Za'Darius thing is going to happen, because Ojulari, Arden Key, obviously two different stylistically players. If we're kind of in the same market there, them kind of transitioning like their focus to that guy feels like it opens the door even more for us, Za'Darius. Now, I think an Aziz and Ojulari probably fit better for Arizona because they like to drop their guys into coverage more often. They like kind of those hybrid types of pieces. Za'Darius is a little bit less of that piece. I don't know why I said piece. But also, this other guy over here, and like I said, I heard this name for the first time this morning connected to the Lions, so I thought we'd just show a couple clips just to kind of get it in our minds. Kus Campbell. We all know Kus Campbell, right? The guy that's like 6'9" for some reason playing defensive line. Now, he's like 6'7". He's massive. 6'7", 6'8", 300 pounds. He's 38 years old at this point. He's on the last year of his deal, but he's been good this year. Statistically, 18 pressures with a 12.24% pass rush pressure rate. Does that make sense? Yeah, pass rush snaps in the pressure. He's got 2 sacks. He's actually graded better against the run than, say, Za'Darius is so far this season. And I think that he's unique because he truly brings, like when we talk versatility, a lot of times I think we look at it as, hey, what edge rusher will step inside and rush the quarterback from the interior on obvious pass downs? Well, Calais actually brings that where you can do that on early downs. You could put him at defensive tackle and he could just sit there and play the run. They've always had interest in the character of this player, so that's, always been something there. And you see him number 93 here. Definitely much different than a lot of pure edge rushers that you'll see. If you want a little bit more of a power piece, he's that. He's definitely more of your power defensive end. But what I do like about Calais is, man, he is like the definition of getting an edge. Like, this guy knows how to get an edge. He gets off the ball well. He covers a ton of depth off the line of scrimmage, and he constantly knows how to get an edge, create slither, and move the pocket. And you see it right here on the right guard, right? It's the hips. You see it right here when he transitions. Contact balance is outstanding, and he spills you out of the pocket. So you don't have as much sacks. You won't get as many tackles, right? Like finishing guys. But he is the definition of, I know how to get an edge. You can see it here. And look, his hands can be a little bit all over the place like you see early on these plays right here. But the length is obviously incredible. The stop-start, the contact balance is fantastic. And that's where he's so tough, is he plays with so much control as a pass rusher within the lower body. He's constantly balanced. Here he is, right tackle, tries to set him very quickly. There's the slither off it. There's the edge he creates. Doesn't have the finish here, but again, gets an edge, gets upfield, and that's who Calais is. And then also, with his experience, you just talk about like high run grade, high awareness, jet run plays, feels the motion pre-snap, and then you can see him here. He just continues to work on the play, continues to work the hands. So for me, and he's still very strong in the court. For me, very different, very unique as a skill set. If I went after Calais, I would do it as a this move, and then I'm making a second move. I do it with something else. That way I could have a little bit more of my pure edge rusher, and also knowing that he's simply a rental for this year. If Miami loses, they gave him to me for a very weak day 3 pick. I wouldn't have an issue with pulling a Kansas City and saying I'm getting both for depth reasons, just because of where we're at. I mean, we get Za'Darius. You still don't have Hutch. You still don't have Davenport. Who knows if we get comes back? Like, you're still very thin. So even just for depth purposes, I would be willing to do it. And I think that his skill set, the good thing about Calais is he has the flexibility to play with others. Like, you could find a spot for him. It's not like if I went out and got Arden Key and I went out and got Aziz Ojulari, like, oh, okay, they're kind of the same piece. Like, these guys could actually find a way to play with each other. He could play with most guys that you bring in with him because he could play across the line of scrimmage. So I'd be willing to do this in unison with another move, but I probably wouldn't just do it as a standalone move and then just rely on that. I don't think you can do that at this point. How worried am I about Decker? I'm honestly not that worried about Decker. I haven't seen a ton out of the edge defender position that like scares me so far from Green Bay. I would say the biggest challenge for me, Ed, is more so against the run than pass rush. Pass rush hasn't really concerned me whatsoever. I mean, they have good pass rushers. Gary has, of course, like taken off. Lucas Van Ness hasn't really done much as a pass rusher, it feels like, so far this season. So neither of them really concern me too much there. I think it's a fair point, though, because these are really good players. But it's more so for me probably as how do they handle the run? How does Decker handle that at the point of attack as a run blocker rather than in pass protection? It doesn't concern me too much. And look, Decker gave up a couple sacks last week. The first one was rough. He kind of just set poorly on the play, and he kind of worked around as the play extended. And the second sack, like, Goff kind of walked into it. I don't think he was completely awful last week. It was more so the Minnesota game, which was more of a struggle. But I have less concerns. And Decker's honestly impressed me against the run as a run blocker so far this season. So I'm pretty confident with Decker going in this one. Why do they always name our starters before the game as starting 3 linebackers and only 4 in the secondary? They do that? Who does that? I don't know who you're referring to. I know that would be like base personnel. But yeah, I mean, honestly, in today's NFL, yeah, you could just call it nickel. You could just put a third defensive back out there. I don't know why they do that. Or whoever you're talking about, I don't know why whoever does that does that. I don't know. I guess like historically that would make sense, but yeah, usually now that's not even a thing. So yeah, inactives are out. Sione Vaki's out. Malcolm's out. I didn't hit on this, but let me get the right page here. All right, yeah, this should be it. So Sione Vaki's out. Shane Zylstra has been elevated. No, hold up. Did Shane Zylstra get signed? Let me make sure I got this right. I think Shane might have signed. So Lions signed Bo Plan to the 53-man roster, which these roster moves that the Lions have made lately, I don't know how long these are actually going to last. I would assume that these are going to be pretty short turnarounds with a couple of these moves. Like we made it for now, and then this probably won't last incredibly long. So yeah, Vaki's out. Okay, Josh Jacobs is also expected to play, so I doubt that he's on this list. So Lions brought up Bo Plan, Malcolm Rodriguez, Giovanni Manu, that's a healthy scratch. Christian Mahogany's healthy scratch. It's actually good to see Mahogany finally on this list. Colby's out. Wow, we have 3 offensive linemen that are healthy scratches. And then Mekhi Wingo. So I guess there's really no surprise here. Wingo we were kind of told was going to be out. Malcolm we knew was going to be out this week. And then Sione Vaki's also out. I guess there's no big surprises with this list. I'm trying to think if there's someone that was questionable that was kind of on the... I mean, I guess Goff is playing, which is good. Nothing there. I don't think there's any big surprises with this one. I don't think so. I mean... Muhammad's also been moved up this week. We'll probably see some Pat O'Connor. You have Levi. Thomas, I believe, is on the 53. Let me actually make sure. I think Thomas is on the 53. Thomas should be on the 53, so we didn't have to move him up. So Thomas, Bo Plan's now up this week. Your edge defender position is kind of all set, I think, this week from what we've seen. Let me make sure, though. I think Thomas is on the 53. And then Shane Zylstra, they also let go of Parker Hesse. That's been kind of like the last couple of weeks things. They've been kind of leaning towards more Shane Zylstra. Zylstra's been adding a little more flexibility, and now they've moved all Parker Hesse. Like I said, I think within a week here, if the Lions make a trade, they need to open up a roster spot. One of these guys can be moved off. They'll just cut Bo Plan or something like that. I'm sure that, yeah, Abraham Bo Plan is on the 453, so they'll probably just cut him next week if they make a move. And Chris Smith, that's the other one. I'm sorry. Chris Smith has also been signed to the 53. That's what I was forgetting. Now, that in turn with the Mekhi Wingo situation, he won't play as much defensive end, I don't think. I don't think he will. But obviously, interior defensive line depth there. Not having Broderick Martin this week. As we know, he has not been activated off of the 53. We're waiting like a full 3-week kind of situation for him. So, yeah, having Broderick Martin out, we need a little bit of depth there. That's going to be that move. And then also that allows Levi to play more defensive end rather than having to sit him in the interior when you have Chris Smith. So those kind of things can work together a little bit. So I don't know. Not a lot of big surprises on this side. Let me go to the Packers side. I think hopefully they put it on X. Hey, Packers, come on, man. We've had a good week so far with y'all. Can we? No? All right. This y'all okay. Huh. Oh no, wait, we got oh boy. See, this is y'all be losing me on this stuff, Packers. Why do y'all do this? Just post it on the X account. Why do y'all send me a link? I feel like I'm getting scammed here, man. All right, hold up. Let me go to the other page. My goodness, man. I'm about to click a virus or something doing this. Okay, here we go. Packers. Oh, and then they put ours on here too. Great. Okay, so Malik Heath. Okay, that's a healthy scratch, I believe. Evan Williams, we knew that was out. Brenton Cox, Josh Myers. So yeah, the center position is going to be Elton Jenkins going to center this week, I assume. Travis Glover, that's backup tackle. And then yeah, Jair Alexander. Wow. Okay, so Jair's out. So Jair's out. Evan Williams is out, which means that you're likely going to see Bullard playing in the slot in nickel sets. You're going to see Eric Stokes out wide with Keyshawn Nixon out wide with a mix of Ballantyne, who's also healthy in this game, who just hasn't played much this season. That'll be the rotation at cornerback for them. It'll be Ballantyne, it'll be Stokes, and it'll be Nixon out wide. And I'm assuming they'll put Bullard into the... No, I'm sorry. They can't put Bullard into the slot. Bullard will play safety. I don't know why I said that. Yeah, Nixon will actually go to the slot. That hurts them. Hold on. I messed it up in my head. I was saying it. It made sense, but it doesn't make sense. Bullard's going to play safety because there's no Evan Williams. Now, I would keep an eye on the fact that they didn't elevate a safety off their practice squad this week, which means that Oladapo... Do they try to mix it up and say, hey, we're going to put Oladapo at safety. We're just going to leave Bullard in the slot because we don't want to see as much Eric Stokes? Because then they could potentially... Yeah, they could put Bullard in the slot, put Nixon out wide, and then allow a rotation between Stokes and Ballantyne on the opposite corner position and Carrington Valentine. So they may do that. I don't know. That is something that's, I think, on the table, is that they could shake it up this week and just decide, hey, we don't want to put Bullard at safety. He struggled there last week. And rather than giving more snaps to Eric Stokes, because there's a chance we don't see a lot of Eric Stokes today who struggled last week. There's a chance we don't see him a lot today. if I was betting, I would say we'll see a majority Carrington Valentine, the young player out of Kentucky. We'll see Valentine. They may put Bullard into the slot, but if they don't, they'll put Nixon out wide. They'll have to put Nixon into the slot. Yeah, they'll have to put Nixon into the slot, and then they'll have to put Stokes out wide too, and that's going to be a problem for them. I don't know. I could see them doing this differently. I could see them shaking it up this week and saying we're not putting Bullard at safety because we want to make sure that Nixon can play outside. So we're going to slide down Bullard and we're just going to put our backup safety in. I think that's not, well, Bullard is a safety, but Bullard does play slot for them. He plays the nickel role. However, when they're hurt and Evan Williams when Evan Williams isn't in there, then they have to put Bullard at safety to take Evan Williams out. I think if I was the Packers, I would think about doing that. I think you will be less exposed. You would be less exposed defensively by putting Victor Oladapo in the game, opposite of McKinney, of course, maybe their best defensive player, and then allowing myself to keep Bullard into the slot. I think that would make sense, but that's probably not what they'll do. I think you're probably right, Charles. They'll probably do what they've typically done, and we'll probably see Carrington Valentine, Eric Stokes, and Keyshawn Nixon in the slot. This is weird, though, because I think last year, I don't know if it was a road game or it was a home game. I know pretty sure he missed at least one of the games against us last year. Jair did, and Jair's a dog. Like he is their most consistent corner. I don't think he's shut down, but he's their most consistent corner. Do you think this is a game where we try to steal possession? I don't think so. I know I usually go to that. I don't think this is one of those games. I definitely thought Minnesota was. I don't think this is one of those. I don't think. Hopefully, it doesn't have to be, but I don't think this is one. I don't think on paper they'll try to do that. Now, I mean, maybe it is. If it's an ugly football game, which I think is on the table, both teams turn the football over, and it's just kind of ugly. The ball is all over the place. Maybe it is something like that, where it's probably a fake punt run, not a pass. But I don't think this will be one of those games. I could be wrong. I don't think it'll be one of those games. I think Love's injury really limits Packers' chances. It could. Now, look, honestly, I didn't think Love – I know there's been the talk from the Packers. I didn't think Love looked bad last week when he was in the game before he came out. I mean, he constantly throws it off his back foot, so to me, it kind of just looks like Jordan Love. That's just kind of what he does. But, yeah, they said all week he was day-to-day, and they're like, hey, we'll give him up to the game time, and now here he is. He's going to play in this game. Now, of course, they could end up just going to Malik at some point in this game. But I don't know. It didn't really stand out to me when watching it, right? It wasn't something that was very noticeable. If I didn't know he was hurt, it wasn't super noticeable for me. How will Clay Walker help the Lions win today? How will he help the Lions win today? Well, Quay Walker could potentially take McDuffie off the field, who's been pretty darn good against the run, and it would put Edgerrin Cooper on the field. You'd have some athletes, so maybe that. Like, Quay Walker has struggled a little bit into coverage so far this season. I think all their linebackers are kind of shaky in coverage a little bit. They're all run and chase kind of guys, right? They're super athletes. They're long. They all kind of struggle a little bit when mashed up in coverage. So maybe something like that. Like, I like the linebackers they have, especially against the run. Like, McDuffie kind of is a settling piece in there, so maybe something like that happens. But that's a good name. I'm glad you brought up Quay Walker because, yeah, Quay Walker's not listed here, so Quay Walker will play, which is big for them because they've been rolling with some backup backers in the meantime. He's returning to getting thrown out of the game? I missed that. Good look, Jay Davis. I forgot about that. Dang, I forgot about that. The medical staff, hold up. Nah, see, wait. Dang, I forgot about that, dog. I forgot about that for sure. That's crazy. I'm not going to lie. I'm really nervous. Man, weird thing is, so, like, I don't know. I get, like, a feel for different, each game has a different feel for me. I'm not worried about this one. Now, I don't think it's going to be a dominant. I don't think it's going to be we're going to cook them or something like that. I'm not too worried about the Packers, to be honest. I'm more so excited to see what this looks like. I'm more so worried about the weather than the performance in general. It's more about the weather for me here, just because you'll get crazy things when it's slippery. Guy falls down, that defensive back, they get a big play. Like, it's that kind of thing. I'm very curious to see what Glenn's plan is, like how aggressive this actually gets versus making them work for everything versus the personnel that we actually have. But I'm pretty positive, man. I feel really good about this one. I would say I don't think I was that worried about the Vikings one either because I liked their offensive chances in that game, and that ended up working out pretty well. I don't know. I don't know the last time I've really been super on edge about one, like going into it. It's been a minute. Maybe Tampa because Tampa makes us throw all the time. I don't think this one concerns me that much, though. But we'll see, though, because, again, the rain is what shakes it all up, and that's kind of the unpredictable. Who's starting at both edge positions? I don't think Houston's going to start. I think Levi's going to start, and I think Trevor Nowaski's going to start at Sam for us. That'd be my assumption. And, well, actually take that back. Trevor and Muhammad will probably rotate in this game. I think Muhammad will get out there, especially on third downs for us. I don't know how much James Houston will see. We may see a little bit of him on, like, obvious passing downs where he comes out there with Muhammad, but I don't think he'll be getting early down snaps. I don't think he's earned that against the run. I don't think that they're in that place with him right now against the run to feel like he's in that spot. I think they'd lead Trevor first, and then maybe we'll see a little bit of Isaiah Thomas getting him too. Jordan Love is playing. Donkey Kong, you there? Second trade imminent with Lions. I'm ready for a trade, man. Zadarius Smith did get pulled for sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's definitely happening then. Yo, I wonder how that he just threw a pick. I wonder how that worked out. Like, the Lions made a call like, yo, we saw him get that sack before half. Get dude off the field, dog. Stop playing. And also, it's 20-3, and I wasn't thinking about this during the week making my picks. I should have definitely picked against the Browns because them losing this game helps. And I'll let this roll in the back end while we're letting this thing kind of play because, like I said, I went out to this last game against Baltimore, and, man, he was cooking Rosengarten. He was cooking, dude. Dak Prescott just got injured. Oh, that stinks. Hey, Joe, that touchdown Dak had to Rico Dowdle was ridiculous. Did y'all see that play? Yo, that was like the craziest play I've seen. Maybe this season. I didn't see the Washington one live. That thing was nuts. You live in Green Bay. Oh, Donkey Kong, you there? Okay. Shoot, man. I feel like you've told me that before. Smith and Key coming, 6th and 7th in Houston. That's crazy. That's crazy work. I mean, look. I could see two trades going down. This is the one that has to happen, though. I feel like this one kind of has to happen. This is the stabilizing piece. This is what you're going to get. Let's get this deal done. Let's lock it in. And I think everything else on that is a little bit of icing on the cake. And then we can go a lot of different directions with it. But let's go get our dog right here. I'm really excited about the idea of him being here next season, too, if we get this thing done. Like, the fact that we'd have our entire defensive line under contract next season is super exciting. Because then when we hit the draft, and we'll talk about edge rushers as always, you're talking about a complimentary piece. You're not talking about a potential starter here. Like, that would be fantastic to be able to kind of lock that in for the Lions. I hope that is the case. So that's the inactive. Okay, I'm going to go to players to watch here. My players to watch list. Chat, throw them in there. Let me know. We'll talk through this because, that injury report is not having Jair is tough, man. And I honestly should have probably took more into account with the fact that he didn't practice all week. Like, their offensive line has kind of had that where they don't practice on Wednesdays, but not practicing all week, that should have been a little bit of a sign like, oh, this actually might not go down. You know what I mean? Like, he was questionable. This actually might not happen. Smith on the field, he's in the shower. Nah, yo, that's great. Wait, how do y'all know this? Are you just watching the game or did someone put this out there? How y'all know he's in the shower, though? You know what I mean? What is on the screen right now? Okay. How y'all know he's in the shower, though? Man, all right, hold up. We got that's crazy work. Yo, but here's the other thing, too. Their thing about their coverage unit, even though they're a little bit decimated, bro, if y'all watch the All-22 thing, they're still challenging in the back end. There's still going to be a big challenge in the back end, man, because they play well together. They play fast. They play so smart together that even with the injuries, especially with Valentine, because Valentine's played really well against us. Valentine's been really good for the Packers when he's been on the field. If they lean into Valentine, Nixon has been solid this season. Yeah, Williams is a big loss. Bullard is still a playmaker. I just don't think he's great in one-on-one coverage, but it can be a little bit difficult to find that matchup. Like, this is still a really sound unit that's not going to break down that often. That's the big thing about the Packers is they're not going to give you things. You're going to have to really go earn everything as a passing offense. And with rain, that still makes it difficult. Here are my players to watch. Obviously, I wanted to put more players on here, but we did this. St. Brown's. I didn't see St. Brown's hoodie. Is it on the Lions X? Is it fire? Hold up. Now I want to see it. Okay, I see everybody out there in their ponchos. Oh, yeah. Wait, who is this guy? Terrion got that Hutchinson shirt on? What? All right, I don't know what that's for. Just showing love, I guess. Okay, here's my players to watch. Lions, I got Meek Robertson. Why? Jayden Reed. Again, he's allowing a 100-plus pass rating in the slot. Reed's going to play in the slot. He'll probably be the most tested in this game, so Meek Robertson. When I was doing my player prop parlay, there wasn't an Meek Robertson interception line. Maybe I could have did a prop builder there. but he's going to be targeted a ton. And Amik's probably, I don't want to say he's been our least consistent. He's probably, Amik's a guy that you could go at. Like, you can go at him. Now, Amik can make a play. As we know with the Raiders, he was really good in off coverage, driving on routes. He's the guy that I also have, as much as he could be attacked in this game and give up some receptions in this game, no doubt. I think the flip side is he could also be potentially the most likely player to take the football away from any of our quarterbacks because of what he was with the Raiders and because of how much he thrives from playing off coverage, where if you get any negatives and Love is throwing the ball off his back foot, Robertson was so good at that with the Raiders. He might have the best chance of taking one away. I'm going Levi. So someone brought him up earlier. This is the game. This is the game. You're going to see a lot of defensive end. I need you to dominate these tackles. I need you to dominate Rasheed Walker one-on-one and Zach Tom. Give me a couple key pressures in this game, but specifically help us against the run. I need Levi to be big in this one before we go make a move. Guard position, this is really just a carryover from last year. Both Zeitler and Glasgow, you put Frankenheck here too. Last year we struggled at guard. We lost at home on Thanksgiving. Our guards got cooked. Kenny Clark, he's a dog. They are incredibly deep on the defensive line. They rotate. They'll be fresh. You have Slayton, who's been good so far this season. I said Kenny Clark's been great. You know, Carl Brooks has really thrived for this team so far this year, getting upfield. They are extremely deep. They're like 5 deep on the defensive line. So these guys are constantly going to be in the action. Obviously, passing situations, they run a ton of stunts, and their ability to create pressure in those spots without having to blitz is what makes them so dangerous. Those guys, honestly, these two right here could decide the game. If Glasgow and Zeitler are great, we walk away like, man, they were really good in this game, we probably won the football game. If these guys get cooked, we're probably in some trouble. These guys may just decide the game for us. If there's like a 2 players that decide the game, it's probably these 2 right here. I'm going to go with Lee McNeil. I'm going to go Lee McNeil for the run in particular. Obviously, I'd love to see him do some things pass rush, but they're a little bit bigger at guard, especially with Jordan Morgan going to guard and then Ellen Jade's going to center. I want to see backside run plays, obviously all the zone run plays. I want to see Lee McNeil give us a couple tackles for loss. Allen Robinson, I don't think he goes crazy today, but I think he gets a couple receptions. I think he's in line for that. I think this is a good matchup potentially. And then Terrion Arnold's at the bottom if you can't read it. Terrion Arnold, to me, I have him getting an interception today. He's going to be put in the mix a ton. He's going to see some Christian Watson, but he also may see a lot of Romeo Doubs. Really, regardless, like there's 2 different styles. I mean, on paper, I'd probably rather see Carlton Davis deal with Christian Watson because he's better against size. He's long. He can make it difficult to get one of those shot plays. And then Terrion, in that case, would be working on Romeo Doubs, which is incredibly tough because Romeo, in my opinion, is their number 1. If who is their number 1 receiver, he's their number 1. He's the best route runner for me. So Romeo Doubs, seeing that matchup with Terrion, look, it wasn't a good week for Terrion last week. These are younger receivers. He could throw off some timing for us. And then also, honestly, every cornerback's in the mix here because they have to help us against the run. Safeties too. Everybody has to be good against the run. On the Packers side, Jaden Reed, already kind of pointed that one out. Kenny Clark, already kind of pointed that one out. Man, that dude is outstanding. I hate having to play this dude. He's kind of like Harrison Phillips. You know, there's like those guys on every team that we play where you're like, oh my gosh. Like the talk is about the other guy, right? But it's like that dude is so annoying. Harrison Phillips is that guy for the Vikings. The guy for the Packers is Kenny Clark. You never really think about him until you're about to play him, and you're like, oh my goodness, we have to deal with that guy again? Oh my, that's him. Rasheed Walker at left tackle. I think he's been up and down this year. I want to see Rasheed Walker give up a sack today, and I want to see us dominate him at the point of attack on a lot of those zone run plays, maybe even on a jet or an end around. Let's get upfield on the guy. I'm going to go Preston Smith. I think he's a lot of times an indicator of how well they run the football. Or how well they're stopping the run. Sorry, take that back. I think we can go at Kingsley Egukan. Like, they got guys that make plays tackling. Van Ness is really well built to play that spot, but I think they can have sufficient success against most of those guys. The biggest thing is they're very deep, Rashawn Gary. But to me, Preston Smith, there are certain games where I watch him like Preston Smith is dogging these dudes. And other times where like Preston Smith is getting washed out. How does that look, especially if we can get behind Sewell, pulling as a lineman? If you watch the preview video, I love that idea, the gap scheme, that kind of thing. So I'm going to go Preston Smith, and then finally Romeo Doubs, who is, to me, the best route runner. You know, and someone said Carlton should be on this list, or did you say Tim Patrick should be on this list? I'm not mad at that one either. I'm not mad at that one. I like Allen Robinson for route running in this game. I think based on how they play coverage-wise, early down, single-eye safety, now being banged up at cornerback, and then outside of that, playing a lot of shell coverage. I like Allen Robinson's ability to create separation within kind of those intermediate targets, short to intermediate. And to me, that's why I put him on here. I think he's a better separator than Tim Patrick. Now, Tim Patrick could do things after the run, and maybe that shows up today because, you know, we get an underneath pass. He does things after the catch in rough conditions where he has that opportunity. Allen won't really do that for you, but Allen can separate. He can be on time, and I always feel like against the Packers, the guy that can do that is the guy that can help us a ton. Like, we know Saint's going to be great. But like if you think about when we played the Pack, it would be like Josh Reynolds, right? He'd run like the deep out route or deep curl route, and he'd be on time. He'd make a great play outside of his frame, and it would be a big chunk play that we needed. Khalif Raymond's had the big plays. So these role guys, I like Robinson because I think he's a better separator, and he should have really good hands in this game. Khalif Raymond could also get going, potentially situationally, not consistently, but situationally, like they use JMO. Now I think JMO stinks. I'd love to have Jameson in this game, but I just like Allen Robinson. I think that gives the Lions comfortability for this game is having Allen Robinson. So I think this is the first time we kind of take note of him this year. In terms of guys that I think are going to be great today, that I think are going to have a big game. St. Brown thinks in for a massive game. I think Laporta does well. If you ask me on third down, man-to-man, who's like my go-to guy outside of St., of course, probably most times it's going to be Laporta in this matchup, especially if Bullard does have to go to safety. Probably Laporta because guys are going to be contested. They're not going to give you free routes. They're not going to break down against bunches. It's going to be hard to just trick this team and get a guy running wide open. So you're going to have to just win. And to me, that's why I point out Allen Robinson. But to me, the most consistent guy for that is Sam Laporta. So I think Sam Laporta's in for a big one. And then, I think we hit on kind of the defense side of the ball. Best hands on the team. Put down that's no, not best hands on the team. Did I say he had the best hand on? No, not best hands on the team. I think he's got better hands than Tim Patrick. I'll say that. But Allen Robinson does have some of the best hands. Or maybe you're not responding to me. Allen Robinson, I think, has really good hands. You know what I mean? So to me, this is a good game for him, right? Contested passes, separate underneath. He's a guy that has big-time range as a pass catcher as well. He has good pass-catching radius as well with big-time body control. So that opens up so much where you can miss him on a 7-yard pass and he can still pull it down. And that's what Allen Robinson has always kind of been. Patrick's going to do things after the catch for you. He's kind of that piece. So I don't dislike Tim Patrick. I think that's a fine one too if he's making some contested grabs. Holy cow, did it just go down? Chat, I think it just went down. Hold up. I don't know if this is legit or not. Chat, I think it just went down. Hold up. I think we just added Zadarius Smith. My phone is going off. Okay. Who's posting this? Oh, this is NFL Rumors. I don't know if this is legit or not. Chat, we're going to... I don't know if this... NFL Rumors just... I don't know why I'm following this guy. He just posted this. That the Lions are trading for Zadarius Smith. If this is true... You know what I mean? We'll see. This is going to get confirmed at some point, I'm sure. But this guy has been right on some things before. You know what I mean? And my phone's going off, bro. I'm getting text messages. I don't know. I missed my mouth. I'm fired up, bro. I missed my mouth. So, according to NFL Rumors, Browns are trading Zadarius Smith to the Lions. If this guy had never been right on things, I would be, but he's been right on stuff before. I think this is legit. Like this has been an account. This has been an account that's had some hits. All right, maybe not all, but they've had some hits. Let me make sure. Let me see if anybody's double checking this. Oh, wait, hold up. I didn't even see that. I didn't see St. Brown's thing. Yeah, I'm going to be honest, bro. It's not like Adam Schefter or something, but I think this is legit. Oh, this was posted at 2:14. This is where y'all were getting it from. Why did my phone just go off for that? That's why. Okay, that makes sense. That's where y'all were getting it from. This might be legit, bro. Especially if he actually did get pulled out of the game. I'm gonna assume this is real, dog. Don't take my happiness away. I won't do a video or something on it yet until like we get official. But that makes sense where people were getting this from. Okay. St. Brown's sweatshirt. Green Bay sucks. That's fantastic. All right, Saint. We see. Hey, Saint's gonna go crazy today. Saint's gonna go crazy today, no doubt. So there you go. I mean, if you're just joining, it's there. I don't know. I mean, that might leave you the jet. It's Zadarius to the Lions. We'll get confirmation. I'm sure. I told you he's in the shower. All right, Robert. We don't. All right. Okay, Robert. You need to calm down. No. Hey, Robert might have made that post. I don't know. Robert also might be lying. I don't know. I'd like to see Detroit play with both gives. Yeah, I think in this game, eye candy's crucial. If you watched the preview, I don't know if you did or not, but if you watched the preview video I put up yesterday, I did bring that up specifically. I don't know that that'll be what it is, but I do think that we are going to see plenty of eye candy today. I think you're going to see 6 offensive linemen. I think you're going to see Sewell in motion. I think you're going to see linemen in motion. I think this is very much so on the table that we see this. I think eye candy is going to be be on the forefront today for the Lions' run game. And I think this could be part of that for them to utilize both of these guys. Now, it is interesting with where the defensive back room is, if they lean a little bit heavier 11 personnel. Even, and here's the weird thing about this, is other teams I was watching, some teams I thought at times were going 10 personnel. We're going 10 personnel to try to get an extra defensive back, put them in like dime packages. That way they could get extra DBs on the field that they could go at. I think it's an interesting thing, but especially now with their injuries, maybe even just one tight end, that might be in play for this game. So yeah, I'm going to let this run one more time just because I'm hype. I'm assuming this is legit. I don't know for sure, but let's just assume this is real. Let's just Lions Talk Live. So that's probably where it came from, I'm assuming. I'm assuming that's where it came from. I'm not going to post anything until something like, we get a official plus the game's next. But I believe it. What trick play you think we pulling out today against Green Bay? I think, my call was a leak play. My call is a leak play. So let me show you what I kind of have in mind here. Let me show you. This is what I was talking about. And I should have showed the clip during the preview video, but this is kind of the play that I think the Lions are going to throw out today. Hold up. Let me find the exact look. And then we'll get the score predictions. So chat, start throwing your score predictions in, man. We're going to end this thing soon. Get ready for the game. And if we get an official word, I'll try to post something quick before the game. If not, we'll wait till afterward. And then when we officially get something, we'll do a video on it. If something, if we get confirmed that something go down, I'm going to find this. I'm going to show you guys this clip. This is the kind of play that I think we're going to roll out today. I think it's easier for me to just show it rather than try to explain it. Bengals are talking like they are going to add someone. Are the Bengals winning? Dang, I took the Bengals to lose, dog. That's unfortunate. Goff is wearing gloves today. Oh, he's wearing gloves. Goff wearing gloves. Hey, more power to him, man. I mean, like, if you can make it work with gloves, do what you got to do, man. Whatever works, bro. Whatever makes you feel good, confident, where you're not thinking about it. I think that's the key. You can't be thinking about it, right? So as long as you feel good, and you're like, hey, I'm good with my hands are fine. I got these on for the football, and that's what matters. Okay, here's the play. Here's what I think we're gonna pull out today. Maybe not this exactly, but something like this. I think by the way that they play coverage, if I was a coach, I'd run this play. As soon as I got into plus territory, I'd run something just like this. Let me see if I can show. I can't show the. Okay, it's fine. We'll just run it like this. You guys remember this play, right? You guys will remember this one. We call this a leak. A leak pattern. Now, in this case, they did it with St. Brown. So they had him down block here, right? Down block on the line. Then he drags. You kind of pull the coverage. And then he's going to leak and wheel the sideline. And he's going to catch this touchdown. This was 2021. Lions car. I was at this game. This was sweet. We were sitting right in the corner. So we saw this happen. I actually might be on the replay here. But this is the kind of play I think you pull out against the Packers based on how they play coverage, especially with their safety position down. I think some version of a wheel route, and I think doing it through a leak set in plus territory may be the best way to set this up. So the Lions did it like this. There's the leak. You get behind that zone. You pulled the corner out of play, and then you float it to the pylon, and he's uncovered. And I think something like that is on the table. I think that's the kind of trick play that we'll see today. We'll see something like that where it's kind of delayed, and they'll be throwing it back across the field. And if you think back to the big plays that we've had against Green Bay, think about it, right? Last year, St. Brown had the little double move. He ran the hitch and go, kind of curled it, wrapped it around, scored a touchdown, and the corner fell. We also had the Khalif Raymond, rolled out one way, Goff threw it back across the body like 50 yards to Khalif. That was another big play we had. This is the kind of play that could kind of fall back into that category and do a similar kind of thing. That's the kind of play that I'm looking for. Eagles kill the Packers with 2 wheels to Saquon. Hey, Ed, look at that. I didn't even know that. But now I feel even better about it. That's what I would do. I think coverage-wise, it just makes sense. It's how they play in the back end. I think that'll get them. We'll have something like that today. That'd be my guess. Hopefully it works. Usually those kind of plays do work. So, okay, score predictions. Let me see what y'all got. We have a trade. That's what we're hearing, Curtis. Hey, shout out to Curtis, man. We hearing this. NFL rumors. Kurt, have you seen this anywhere else? I got the NFL rumors notification that said the Lions have traded for Za'Darius. Have you seen it anywhere else? We got this rumor, man. I'm fired up. We got the clips on deck. You know what I mean? I was ready for the clips, man. I was like, hey, got to be prepared for this. You're getting all that buzz yesterday. I got more clips. So if this goes down, I'll have highlights. 41-24 Packers. Hooker plays in forward. Dang, y'all are disrespectful. That's what 38-17 hackers. Okay, you call them hackers. That's crazy. 24-21. That's more in my range. What we got? 23-21 Lions. That's tough. That'll be stressful. That's going to be a stressful football game. That's going to be a stressful football game, man. Mike Florio. What is Mike Florio's at? I want to show it to the people. Mike Florio. Fake Mike Florio. That can't be him. Hold up. Pro Football Talk? Is that who it is? I think that's Mike Florio. Maybe he didn't make a post about it, though. Maybe he just said it, from what y'all are saying. Dang, that St. Brown sweatshirt is tough. Green Bay sucks. We might have to make those, bro. We might have to make some Green Bay sucks sweatshirt. I'd wear that. Yes, there are phone calls, trade down the coaches, many calls. Okay, so I don't think we have any. Oh, here you go, right here. Lions and Browns have discussed the Zadarius Smith trade. So this would have been a similar time when the Adam Schefter thing came out. I wonder if this was 10 hours ago would have been after the Adam Schefter thing. Oh, there you go. Oh no, they're getting smacked. Dang. All right. Let me calm down. I thought, okay. Yeah, so this would have been after the Adam Schefter thing. I mean, all signs are pointing to something's going down here. Right? We're just waiting for it to be officially official. But as we're seeing it, our boy's a Lion. So that's fantastic. That's fantastic. We're gonna have Zadarius Smith as a Lion here. It'd be now more surprising if he didn't become a Lion after seeing all this. And he's been cooking, man. Like good for him, man. Like it's not like, he's kind of taking his foot off the gas. He's been doing work for a while now. Let me go to this. So I see you guys' score predictions. If you didn't see my preview, mine is I got Lions 24-17. I don't even know what the over-under is. So let's check in on that real quick. Let me check in on that, and then we'll move off of this. Hold up. I gotta see the lines for this game. I don't even know. 20-3 Chargers. Was that Chargers Browns? Yeah, the Brown man. Yo, that pass that what's it? Jameis got out of the pocket and he threw. My dude, I don't know where he was throwing that football. There was straight nobody open. He threw it right at the He dropped it, though. He dropped it. It was just like, bro, I don't know what you're looking at here. This would be the NFL line. So BetUS, YouTube 150, that's the promo code. 150% deposit on your first deposit. 150% deposit match on your first deposit. 125% on your next two. Again, use that promo code. It is down in the description. That's YouTube 150. Look at this line. Oh, my gosh. Baltimore's got to be up like 40. It's 30.5. All right, let's go to the Lions line. This game is upcoming, so it's still here. It is now shrunk. Lions -2. I believe this was at 3 at one point. Lions -2. The over-under is 48. So 24-17 would hit the under. And usually I'm wrong on this. That's 41 points. My math is correct, so I'm about a touchdown under. If we hold Green Bay to less than 20 points, we're going to have to talk about AG for coordinator of the year. I agree. I completely agree, bro. Pass defense has been top 10 across the board, top 5 in certain categories this season. They've been great. And again, we're 2-0 without Hutch. If you can get this done without Hutch and then get this trade done, I'm telling you, and I said this, with Easy this week, the NFC North really needs us to lose this game. Because if we win this game, everybody's in trouble. You win at Green Bay, at Minnesota. You take now a 6-3 versus 7-1 with the advantage, with the win already in Green Bay. You got one coming back at home. Then you play Houston, who looks terrible. We'll see what Nico happens. And then after that game, you have Jacksonville, you have Tennessee. The division race, in my opinion, is essentially over if they lose this football game. But, I think we're going to do a really good job against them. I really do. And I think we made a lot of moves for that. But, yeah, I'm going to go. I like the Lions by 7 here. I like the under 2. I'm going to take the Lions -2, man. I don't think that's nearly enough. That almost feels like a pick 'em to me. So let's say I risked $5. What did I win? You know what? Let's go with the 20 piece. I'm pretty confident. If I risk 20, we can win 16-67. So closely doubling it. And actually, I think you could change your line right there. You see the little drop down? I think you can actually change your line right there if you were a little bit more nervous or you've had a little more confidence. Actually, let me look at that. So we placed this one. I want to see if hold up real quick. I want to check something. And then I'm going to show you all a video and then we'll get out of here. But I want to check. So if I go to this, imagine placing the same bet twice. Can you even do that? I don't even know if that's legal. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so we can move it a little bit. See, I don't even need to give us points. Like, that's crazy where I don't need to do all that. You can move it if you're feeling uncomfortable, but I feel good with that. So, yeah, YouTube 150, that's the promo code Out BetUS. Let's get that in there. Player prop parlays, we do that thing weekly, so go check that out. And let me, real quick, wrong game. The perfect Davenport out for season, rookie grades. What was that? What was my year? Was that X? Lions trade target Zadarius Smith. So we made a video on Zadarius Smith back in, what day was this? I wanted to check back on the video because I always say that if you guys are waiting for some content on this, check out the video. I did a video on October 14th. So 2.5 weeks ago, close to 3 weeks ago. About 3 weeks ago. Lions trade target Zadarius Smith. This was the second video I did talking about a trade target. Man, I think it's going crazy. And you think we're going to Allen Robinson in all day? I think Allen Robinson has a couple receptions today. I do. I think Allen Robinson has a little production today. I am doing a live stream for the game. Yep. Live stream for the game. Has it love throwing an interception every game? Probably. He's got 9, so he's on pace to throw more than that each game, but he's at least thrown that. No question. He's at least thrown that. Honestly, I think both teams throw an interception today. That'd be my guess. I think both teams give it away once. So yeah, I have this, what is it, an 8-minute segment talking about Zadarius Smith. I'm wearing the same hat. Hold up. Whoa. Yo, chat, we just did. Hey, I didn't even know this. I never wear this. Yo, what? Hold up. Can y'all hear this? Bro, see, and this is what I'm saying. You see that win right there? That's the exact same thing that I was showing you guys against Baltimore. He's winning the same way, man. That's what I like. He's very consistent. You know what you're going to get with Zadarius. And look how smooth that was. That's the other thing, man. He's very fluid. He doesn't have, like, the most shifty kind of change of direction, but he's very smooth in his footwork. You see it right here, kind of working through traffic like that. Very fluid. Fluid change of direction. That's my thing with Zadarius, man. I just like how consistent he is. And then I always liked his effort, his pursuit to the football. I always like that. Lateral movement, maybe a little bit of an issue. Man, I love that. Falcons about to win against Chicago. Good, man. Hey, Falcons are tough, man. I don't think the Falcons are a bad team at all. And Kirk's playing well. Man, we saw how bad this offensive line was. Man, look at that. And he's you can see the instincts of this, right? When they overset, bam, plant stick. You see how smooth that is? The body control stops all of his weight. Right, he's not leaning one way or the other, stops his weight, gets upfield. You see how slippery he is in that spot. There he is with that swim move over top, that sidestep. Yeah, no, this is going to be big time for it. I can't believe I'm wearing the same hat. That's why this happened, because I'm wearing the same hat. That's exactly why this happened. Yeah, this is going to be money. yeah, this is going to be fire. So, yeah, check that out, man. October 14th, I posted that video. If you guys want to check that out, you guys want some content on Zadarius, what to expect. That's an unbiased look because I made it before we got him. So there's that. We looked at him when we first jumped in here. I think I'm going to leave the stream here, man. I got the Lions 24-17. Join me, 4:25 Eastern time. That's when it should kick off for Lions-Packers. Battle for first place in the NFC North in Lambeau Field. We're going to be live. It's our watch party, Bo Booth. We're going to be live, man. We're going to be reacting to this game. And as always, I may have the scoreboard on the screen. Depends if y'all want it on or not. But we'll definitely have the sound, and we'll be reacting to it. Yeah, I don't think I missed anything. Jameis Winston career is like the Texas 2-step, 1 step forward, cook the Ravens 3-step back. Yeah. And he's struggling, man. That whole Browns organization is struggling. Hey, I appreciate you. Yo, the hat's comfy. But, like, that's crazy. Because right before I got on here, I'm like, I'm going to throw the hat on, man. I actually wore it this morning, too. I'm going to throw the hat on. And look at that. Now Zadarius is about to be a Lion. It's about that time, dog. I think we made that video before rumors were popping. You know how I know that? I got to give credit to Dose of Dad here. So we were the night before I posted that video, I was at his house and I think it was like, cause it wasn't long after the Hutchinson injury. And we were kind of talking through, maybe there was some sort of like trade buzz, like there's something going to go down. And we were kind of like, he was like, I think he asked me like, yo, who's out there, like that kind of thing, like teams that are bad. He's like, just kind of look at the teams that are bad. So I'm laying on the floor. I pull up Our Lads, shout out to them, and I'm like rolling through these depth charts. I'm like, all right, let me just see. And the first name the first name that hit me was go look at Cameron Jordan. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go look at Cameron Jordan because like it hit me. I was like, oh, the Saints are bad. Cam Jordan, there's a connection. Anybody with the Saints makes sense. So I'm like, let me go look at Cam Jordan. And then I had watched Cam Jordan, so I wrote him down. I was just writing names down there. Saw Cam Jordan. I'm like, ooh, this guy ain't it. It didn't look great. But then I was like, oh, Zadarius Smith, hold up. And that's how the video happened the next day. Zadarius Smith was like, okay, they can move off him. And Zadarius Smith, he's been in both divisions. He's played well. I remember playing him. And then watching him, he was the guy that stood out. He stood out and watched him next day. So this would be fantastic if we made this move. The fit makes too much sense here. And I love the fact that he'd now be on his third NFC North team, but he's familiar with this division. And I actually don't know if this was a quote or not, but I had read an article before we went on here that I think it was him talking about like he'd want to come to the Lions because then he could be back in the NFC North and he could play against the Packers and the Vikings, and he'll have a shot to do that at least one more time each. If that's the case, consistency on the field, durability is a huge part of that. He's going to be out there. And then the final thing is under contract again next season. So consistently productive, good against the run, going to be on the field, and he's under contract for another season after this year on a very reasonable deal, according to Over the Cap, depending on how the numbers would shake out. Just over $1 million for this season, incredibly financially affordable, and just over $4 million next season, incredibly financially affordable, much cheaper than say, because here's the way I look at it too. Like, if we did this. Well, that's the thing that I like about Brad and stuff, man. It's like they don't just go after names. They don't just go names to get names. Like, this is a legit player. This is a guy that legitimately moves the needle. Like, he clearly moves the needle if you add a player like this. You know what I mean? Like, some of these other guys, you're not completely sure. This is a complete new needle mover. Like, the Azeez Ojulari thing, it'd be fine, I think, if you did it in unison with another move. But just doing an Azeez Ojulari trade on its own, I don't know that it would be enough. And that was one of those guys that, like, right before me and Easy did our show that day, I was looking for guys and I found Azeez and I was like, all right, there's a little something here, but it wasn't enough. Like, it didn't move the needle for me enough where I was like, I'm for sure this would be an upgrade. So I didn't actually like make any kind of videos or anything about him. And I just like that him having the sacks, like you had that one against the Steelers against like their third string tackle when he stepped in, is that they're you could tell like they're going after dudes that are dudes, man. Like not just like, oh, he's got some sacks, let's go get that guy. If you go get him in unison with a move like Zadarius, now you got something. But I think just making that move, I don't know that it moves the needle enough where it actually makes sense. It feels like you almost to a point where you're just making a trade to make a trade, and that's the world the Lions have to stay out of. Every draft pick is so valuable for them, and they don't have a lot of them. We can't just be making trades to make trades. We have to legitimately know that we're getting someone better, and having him next season helps us out because next year when we enter the draft, we won't have that glaring hole. You'll be like, hey, I got a guy. Now I'm just adding something on top of that, adding depth, I'm adding a future piece. And plus, Zadarius, it's not like Zadarius is old. I think he's not young, but he ain't old. He's 32. You know what I mean? So you can get 2 years out of that. All right. But yeah, Marcus Davenport signed. Now, it wasn't all cap hit this year. But he signed on a 1 year, $6.5 million deal, which $2.3 million is next year as a void. So you have to kind of add that on top. So if you count Davenport's void of 2.3 plus say around $4 million for Zadarius, 6.3, incredibly reasonable for the production you're going to get. Guy had like 70 pressures last season. All right. So super reasonable in terms of the production that you'll get. But like that number, like if it's $6.5 million and you had to spread it between 2 years for Marcus Davenport, that shows you the kind of value that you'd be getting if you had to pay $4 million for a guy like Zadarius that is consistently ultra productive, right? He doesn't have like the excellent opportunity to maybe be like a long-term piece, but definitely for like within 2 years, we keep talking about being a window, like that's perfect. And it kind of would work well with, drafting someone on top of that at some point. So that's fantastic, man. Our D line will be set for the next 2 years at least. You know what I mean? This year and next year. Well, very much so next year. Our entire front four will be under contract. So hopefully this is legit. Hopefully this does go down. And we'll talk about that. But I'm going to leave it here, man. Titans didn't catch the Honolulu flu. Titans are winning. Who are the Titans playing? Oh, they're playing the Patriots. Well, they're playing the Patriots. That's the antidote, man. You play the Patriots, of course. You ain't losing that one. You know what I mean? They're playing the Patriots. But no, I got you. Hey, someone had to break it. Good for them, man. But yeah, one more last shout out, YouTube 150. That's the promo code. You can get a 150% deposit match on your first deposit up to $2,000, 125% on your next two with that promo code, man. Get over here, make some bets. The prop builder is up now. Do some player prop parlays now, or you can go check out mine. You can bet on that. If you're going to do one, I would say take the over on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Actually, let's look at that real quick. I want to see what St. Brown's number at. Because the one that I left out if I could go back and do it again, I would have put St. Brown in there. I may have just made it a 4-leg. I would have just put him in there as well. Look at St. Brown, man. Like, St. Brown's going to have some numbers, I think, in this game. He's already wearing the sweatshirt. He's already told you I'm about to cook. You know what I mean? If I was making the betting lines, I see him wearing that sweatshirt, I'm moving the number up. Like, okay, no, this guy's about to go crazy. You know what I mean? He's on one today. I'm trying to. I see the probability to be loading weird for me on the computer. Do it on your phone, man. I think your phone is just easier. I don't know what's going on over here. I don't know. We'll find it during the game. Anyways, though, I'll leave it there. If you make an account, you can see the live betting lines, how they move throughout. And, yeah, man, YouTube 150, that's promo code. Appreciate y'all joining. Join me, 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be live back over here. Watch party about 30 minutes from now. Join me, and if Zadarius Smith thing goes down, we'll continue to talk about it. I'll see y'all over there. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Go Lions. Join us. And we out.